Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite unwarranted criticisms in art, which is you should draw more this or you never draw this, literally insert blank here. And I think it's an interesting criticism that's always being brought up, regardless of who you are. If you are known for drawing something or known for never drawing something, this is pretty much a criticism that you're always going to face. And it's just an interesting one because I don't get where this mentality that it's okay comes from. Because I see this criticism is the same thing as you're in your living room minding your own business. You're watching a TV show or you're playing a game, and some random stranger walks up to you and says, "Oh, you should be doing this other thing instead." Now, the logical person will be like, "No, who the hell are you? Get out of my living room. What are you doing?" And give no real estate to that. But for whatever reason in art, it's like perfectly okay, like a lot of other stuff that really shouldn't be. And it's just a thing that I think is weird and wanted to talk about. So I'll get the quick disclaimer out of the way that just says you should never listen to people that are trying to tell you how to use your time unless you are accountable for it. What I mean by that is like, oh, if it's a project for your class, or it's a criticism you're receiving from somebody who is teaching you to draw, like, unless it's the opinion of somebody who you actually have weight in, if it's just from a random stranger, you should not listen. But if for literally any other reason you have a reason to be responsible, accountable, or it's not just about you, then yes, please listen. But for everybody else, we're talking about the random strangers here. Don't listen to them. The way I see it is, in art, your time is an asset. It's a resource. It's pretty much the only thing that you get and you eventually run out of before you die. And you just want to work on as many drawings as you can in the meantime before that point. So it's something that I've always gotten, which is interesting. When I drew anime, people said that I should draw more realism. And now that I draw more realism, people are like, "Oh, well, you should draw more anime." And when I worked on a manga, people wanted me to do more speed paints. And then when I work on speed paints, people want me to do manga. So it's like, dude, pick a lane and stick to it. But it seems like whatever thing you want to draw or you're working on, somebody is always going to want you to be working on something else. And I get it. The internet is vast. Everyone has an opinion, which is awesome and whatever. But you really should be prioritizing how you spend your time yourself. Like I said, it's your time. Do what you want with it. Unless you're avoiding your responsibilities, then by all means, please address that and get better at it. But it's never a constructive criticism, because why would you listen to these people? I mean, if you ever do, just out of sheer spite, then cool, good for you. You learn something new or whatever. But for literally anything else, it's like, why am I going to put weight in anybody else's opinion, especially when it's somebody who does not matter to me at all? Is it like one extra like on social media? Does that make the pain in the butt worth it? Or anything like that? But these are also the type of people that you do not want to listen to, because they always have an opinion on something, and they're never going to be happy. Even if you go and turn around and listen to exactly everything that they tell you to do, they're still not going to be happy and probably tell you to do something else. Now, a thing that I think is weirdly freeing, especially with AI art being a thing now, is I feel like there's actually less pressure for kind of pandering to other people now, because if somebody wants a picture of their dog or their best friend or their couple goals or anything like that, it's just like, I mean, you have a keyboard, go and type it. There you go. You can get your drawing and be on your way. And now you could leave me the hell alone. So I just think that that's one productive, good, useful thing for AI. It's like, hey, at least it gets some of the annoying demands of people out of the way. But these are not demands you should be listening to if it's from people who don't even respect art to begin with. So, if you do get that from somebody and they're severely out of touch, just gently refer them to the all-powerful AI machine and be like, dude, go get your insert whatever you wanted to have drawn over there and leave me alone. But yeah, I just think that it's not a good thing to listen to, because art is a thing that requires a degree of passion or like care in what you're doing. So if you are only listening to other people, I just don't think that that's very fun. And it's also like a fast track to burnout. There's a difference between occasionally giving yourself a challenge. Like for me, I never draw dudes. This is one of the rare cases in every 10,000 years where I actually end up drawing a dude. And, I decided to record it and it's not even finished. It's just, the footage that I have for this video in particular. But I was just thinking to myself, yeah, I kind of feel like drawing something that's a little bit less pressure, because I feel like whenever I work on drawings of like female characters, anything beauty or aesthetic or whatever wise is usually tends to be less forgiving for the female form and figure. So that's just a thing that sometimes has a little bit of extra stress involved with it. But for guys, it's always been easier for me to draw them, which I know it's probably funny for people to hear. It's like, wait, you never draw dudes, but it's easier for you to draw them? Yes, not necessarily on a technical level, but like at least pressure wise, yes, because if a dude drawing turns out horribly, I don't even really care. But it's just a fun little thing for me to say, like, hey, I want to draw, I don't want there to be any pressure for it to be something super amazing, let's draw a guy. That's the case for me. But pretty much the point of me making this video is there's a lot of people in art who give weight to people's opinions when they really shouldn't. So this is just a friendly reminder to you. If some random stranger tells you to draw something on the internet, you absolutely do not have to listen to them. You got to know that the request that they're making is very selfish. It comes from a perspective of 100% self-interest that takes no consideration for you whatsoever. Is that the kind of person that you want to listen to? That's somebody whose opinion you really care about? Just stay away from these because you don't want to build an audience based off of that. But yeah, I kind of ranted here for long enough, so I hope you learned something. It's just a quick little topic that I wanted to talk to. And, of course, I do not have a script, so if I was all over the place, I'm sorry, but I hope you liked the drawing, or at least the topic, and found it interesting. My commissions are still open if you are interested in one of those. That's one of the few cases where it is okay to tell people what to draw, because they give you money, and with the money, you can buy video games. So those are okay. Bye.